Yep.
We are live now.
Awesome.
Hi, Ashman. Good evening.
Hi, Chad.
Welcome, welcome. So we're doing our first, hopefully, first of many LinkedIn lives.
Inshallah.
Um, interesting topic today. The test match tomorrow at Adelaide, which begins around 8 o'clock Dubai time.
Ha.
Uh, and the simple reason we're covering that is because it's an unusual one. It's a day night, uh,
Absolutely.
also called a pink ball test.
Yep.
For reasons because you need a pink ball when you play under lights.
Yep.
But have you sort of witnessed a previous Test match played? I mean, not live, of course, but on TV.
Uh, I'd seen the disaster of a match which took place at Ahmedabad.
Oh,
I saw it on
God, yeah.
TV. Like
Right.
India absolutely crushed England on that occasion. Like what a
Okay.
stupid wicket. I think Akshar Patel and what's his name, Jadeja. Like they
Right.
just kept on bowling darts and the pitch and the
Correct.
ball did the rest.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that India all out 36 at Adelaide also?
Yes, absolutely.
That was also day night, no? Would-
Yeah, that was also day night. It
Yeah.
wasn't the 36 all out, it was 36 for 9 because
Yeah, they had taken a
Shami was
lead in
injured.
the first innings. They had taken a lead in the first innings,
That's right.
uh, and then they collapsed in the second innings. So
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, for those who are watching in today, we are Bhai Waugh. So we have this very interesting YouTube channel called Bhai Waugh, where we try to talk about interesting stuff from cricket. Anshuman and I are both cricket tragics, romantics, whatever you want to call it. So we're focusing on tomorrow's Adelaide Test. Let's do a little bit of a preview first. So Anshuman, what do you think? What's your sort of assessment of what's going to happen tomorrow? Teams, conditions, any first day predictions,
First day predictions.
or
Okay.
overall predictions also. Where are you putting your money?
Uh, Overall predictions, as far as putting my money is concerned, I'm gonna put it in Australia
Oh, okay.
because
Nice.
Adelaide is kind of their bastion. It's
Right.
their fortress.
Yeah, but
Uh,
sorry, so was Perth,
so
so was yeah,
till the time that it was breached.
huh,
Uh, but as far as day and night cricket is concerned, Australia have won all their previous day and night matches at Adelaide. In
right,
fact, as far as pink ball format is concerned, Australia are the best performing team. Uh, in fact, like they played more than 50% of the the pink ball matches that have ever taken place. Their
right.
only loss, and that can be a bright spot for India, was earlier this year against West Indies.
Yeah, which
Uh,
was the
with
Shamar Joseph test. Yeah,
the Shamar Joseph Trust. I think that was Brisbane,
yeah, correct.
not Adelaide.
Brisbane or Melbourne, I'm not sure. One of the two.
Yeah, but as far as the venue is concerned, they continue to be unbeaten there.
Yeah.
Uh, it is also the home ground of Travis Head. Going
Oh,
by the
wow.
last match, he was the only Australian who kind of stood up to the Indian bowling attack.
Right,
He's been a thorn in our side since the World Cup.
right.
He's consistently just keeps on coming back and giving it to us. Uh, it is also a very good hunting ground for Manus Labuschagne.
Yep,
And
he has a
this
very good
guy,
record.
I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in this match. Like he's been kind of out of form. Quite a
Correct.
lot of talk about about him being dropped. But I just love Marnus.
Yeah.
Apart from being a great batsman, like he's such a fantastic character.
True. Uh,
We call
oddly,
ourselves,
oddly
we
enough, I think Manas entered his first test as a concussion substitute for Stephen Smith, and
exactly.
it looks like he's in some kind of concussion right now. His head doesn't seem to be working in the right way. So I
I
hope he
think
gets over that.
I think he said no run too many
Yeah,
times.
too
So
many
he's
times.
kind of actualized that.
Yeah,
But
no, I saw a podcast where he made a wager with somebody saying that he'd bowl at 135 kilometers per hour,
yeah,
and he actually did, right?
yeah, yeah,
And so the guy said that I think he's obsessed with bowling. He's so
yeah.
obsessed with bowling these days he's forgotten how to bat. So the weird thing, I mean, it's quite weird with Manas, but yeah, but he's got a fantastic record at Adelaide, and you never know with him, right? I mean, this might be his redemption song, like it was Kohli's in the last test. So
In fact, you referred to both of us as cricket tragics. If there is a cricket tragic in the world, it is Manus Lavashan.
Very true. Very, very true. Very
Like,
true.
the game means just so much more to him, like, and I like the great thing about it is that, he absolutely expresses it. Like, he's batting and he's talking to himself at the same time, commentating,
Yeah,
admonishing himself. When he's playing a
correct.
good shot, he's saying, "Well played, Manus."
Yeah.
So,
He is the modern day Shrikant.
yes,
He's but more intense than Shrikant, of course, even more intense.
absolutely, very intense.
Very intense, but good fun to watch. And he's a good bloke,
Yeah.
interesting bloke. So your money's on Australia, right?
Yeah, and one more reason for that, like there is one undisputed king of pink ball bowling, and that's Mitchell Stark.
Correct.
Like I think he's got some 60 odd wickets, 60 to 62 wickets bowling with the pink ball.
Yeah.
Uh, Even the last time we played against Australia, like it was him and Hazelwood. I think Hazelwood took five, he took four.
Hmm.
Uh, but uh, that guy is absolutely incredible, and
I
I
think
don't think.
when India was scoring this whatever 500 odd or 600 odd they scored in the last Test match, I
Yeah.
swear I saw Hazelwood trying to rub the ball so that the red becomes pink. But yeah, but it didn't work anyway for them, and that's why
Yeah.
he's injured, I guess now. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But that's going to be a big hole for them, huh, without Hazelwood there.
Scott Boland is in, and
Yeah.
he also bowls in the right areas. He's
Hmm.
a unassuming sort of bowler. He's quite quick,
Yeah, he is.
uh, and here's the clincher.
Yeah.
He's played two Test matches at Adelaide, and guess what his average is? He's taken 7 wickets,
6.3 or 7, something like that, if I remember.
double of that actually. So like
Oh, it's 14
13.
almost. Okay.
13, 13 or 14 or so, somewhere between
Hmm.
that. But like
Hmm.
that's a fantastic average.
Yeah,
So
he's one of the
everybody was
most
like,
metronomic bowlers, right? I mean, very very consistent with his line and length. Very difficult to score off. Very difficult to score off. Yeah.
yeah, see, as far as the pink ball is concerned, it is difficult to score off anyway. But like
Correct.
just put that in contrast, I think Mitchell Stark averages 18.75.
Wow, that's pretty good. So, which means if you're bowling at that rate, your average scores are not going to be more than 250 if you're batting.
Yeah, like it's going to be a actually let's not put it in terms of average. Like let's just say that the teams batting third and fourth are going to have a terrible time.
Correct. And which means
So
you must bat. You must win the toss and bat in this
yeah,
case.
the formula for success is win, toss, bat.
Right.
If you look at overall statistics of day and night matches or so, I think there have been some 5 innings defeats
Right.
and some 6 or 7 victories for the team batting fourth.
Hmm.
Sorry, for the team batting third, with
Hmm.
margins of 200 or above.
Wow. So comprehensive both ways.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like batting fourth is kind of terrible.
Right.
But
So
maybe Test cricket has panned out.
you're seeing
Uh,
the baggy green. You're seeing the baggy green and pink.
at, yeah, baggy green and pink is a nice way of
Hmm.
nice way of putting it. But then like
Correct.
who knows? Yeah? Maybe someone gets some kida and something happens.
Yeah, yeah, you never know. You never know with this. See, I don't know. I mean, I tend to agree with you. I think the sort of clever money or the good money is on Australia for sure. Simply because of the record and 7 out of 7 wins or whatever it is, and I think their bowling under lights is going to be really good. There's no doubt, even without Hazelwood there. But I think India's probably got the best chance to win this. If there ever was a good chance to win a pink test in Australia, this is it because you've got an almost full strength team. Um, Pretty much two key batsmen are in form, three actually, if you count Rahul as well. And the bowling looks good. I mean, I don't know who they will get in tomorrow. They might sit down Harshit Rana and they might actually go with the left field choice like Prasidh Krishna. You never know, or even Akashdeep might come in, for example. But I think what India needs to be wary of is the batting order. I don't think Rohit should open tomorrow. I mean, if they're batting first.
Actually, like
Um,
Rohit came and announced earlier today that he'll be batting in the middle order.
oh,
Good
he's
for
announced that, actually. Okay, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
very good for him because, like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, he's not been
Yeah.
in the best of form for some time now.
Correct.
If he comes in at number five or so,
Right.
uh, assuming that he comes in after 30, 40 overs have been bowled, then, like, he's got a good chance of, like,
Yeah.
gaining some form because, like, as far as the pink ball is concerned, it does come onto the bat
Yeah. True.
because, like, there's some additional paint on the ball. So
Right.
throughout the match, like, throughout the span of the 80 overs in which a ball is used, it comes to
Correct.
the bat.
Right.
So and, like, that kind of ideally suits him. In fact, like, I'll have the same observation for Kohli also.
Hmm.
Uh, like, if he comes into bat after 30 overs or so, it's going to be good
Hmm.
going for him.
The way, I mean, if I just look at math, and I know math's not sometimes the right way to look at it, but you got 450 overs if this goes 5 days, right?
Yeah,
And you got 150 overs under lights because
yeah,
one session, 5 sessions of 30 overs each, right? Is going to be under, I mean, full lights.
yeah,
The
yeah,
last
yeah,
session, or
yeah,
post dinner, post what
yeah,
is it, dinner session? I'm assuming, right?
yeah, yeah.
So you got a one third of that. I mean, 150 overs. So any team that actually ends up either batting really well in those 150 overs or absolutely getting destroyed in both the innings and in those one, the majority of what you do with those 150 overs is going to determine the game, and not so much the other 300. This is my feeling.
Okay,
And
that's a good way of looking at it.
Hmm.
I'll throw a curveball on that. I don't think it's got to do with whether you're batting under lights or not. I think it's got to do with the newness of the ball.
Okay, no, I've seen a couple of tests. I mean,
Yeah.
highlights. Not I've not seen much of the live games, but I think most of the wickets do fall in that last session, right? And that's a proven thing. That I think the majority of the wickets fall in that final session.
Yeah, that happens because, like, it's nighttime, so the ball tends to swing a bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
but
that's one. And also, I think there have been occasions where the second new ball has been taken in the seconds in that last session as well,
that's right. That's right.
right? So you get a new ball in that last session, technically.
That's right. So, like, irrespective of whether it's day or twilight or night, I
Hmm.
think the ball and its newness plays a bigger role.
Hmm. Correct.
Much.
Which
Uh,
then brings me to this interesting question, because this is also to do with what happens on LinkedIn, right? Since we're on LinkedIn, how do you adapt to unfamiliar circumstances? I mean, like we go through these unfamiliar circumstances at work, right? आज दिन है कल रात हो जाती है suddenly. So, and we are
uh,
doing this in Twilight, surprisingly. It's
yeah.
almost day between day and night now in Dubai.
Yeah.
Um, how do you sort of metaphorize what happens in a ping ball match and the adaptation to those conditions and sort of take a bridge to life?
The matrix changes, like, that's for sure. Uh, I don't think Australia will have too much of a problem with it, simply because of the fact that they played so many ping pong matches
Hmm.
and played them at home and dominated. It's
Right,
going to be a bit of a challenge for the Indians
right.
as such. We played only four ping pong matches in all. Won three, lost one. The only match at Adelaide in Australia that we played, like, we lost
Right.
that, and we don't remember how badly we lost that.
Hmm.
Uh, so, like, for quite a few of our players, it will be like, joining a new company and showing up for work on the first day. Like, you
Interesting.
the broad strokes of what you're supposed to do, what the job, how to do the job. But, like, the culture of the place is different, circumstances are different.
Hmm.
Uh, you don't have any friends, so, like, there is a
Okay.
lot to adapt to.
Okay, so
Uh,
there's an interesting question that's come in the chat from Abhirup Sen, and Abhirup says Adelaide is also the home ground of Virat Kohli, right? Or in other words, a ground he feels at home.
yeah.
Uh, so now, if you're familiar with the conditions, is there any difference? Does that make any difference?
No, okay, so Abhirup, hi Abhirup, thanks for the question. I can't see you, but, like, I'm happy that you're here. You put this in the context of Virat Kohli as such. Now, Virat has a lot going on in his head. So, like, it's not got to do with day or night. It's not got to do with the fact that he got 100 in the previous match, and like he's been a bit of a damp squib for a couple of years or so. So Virat, needs to predominantly sort himself in the head.
Hmm.
Uh, he likes Australia. He likes Australian conditions as such. If I remember correctly, in the last test at Adelaide, he was I think on 73 or 74 before he was
No,
run out.
yeah,
Yeah, he was run out.
Rahane
but
won.
yeah, so Rahane was his partner at that point of time.
Yeah.
Uh, so he's got a lot going for him right now. He needs to carry on the momentum of the last test.
Hmm.
Uh, much because you know, Virat, unfortunately for him, he takes a lot of the pressure of the fans.
Yeah.
Uh, Absolutely unreasonably so. In fact, I think others have it a lot easy because they're so focused on Virat.
Hmm.
One day he's the god, and the next day uh, he's a devil.
Right.
Uh, so like I said previously, I think the stars are aligning for Virat.
Hmm.
Uh, let's just hope that Jaiswal and Rahul give us a good start, so
Correct.
that Virat doesn't need to
That's
come
what I
and
was- yeah.
play the new ball.
Correct. I mean,
Uh,
see, that's the thing, right? I mean, you had a 200-run partnership in the last test for the
yeah,
opening.
yeah,
So by the time Virat had come, the bowlers were tired.
yeah,
KK
yeah,
was significantly ahead by that time. He could pace
yeah,
himself.
yeah,
And then, of course, I think when Nitish Reddy came out, the orders were to go for it.
yeah,
So he went from 70 to 100 quite quickly.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think there was this one instance I remember when the previous night when the game got over. I think Yashasvi and Rahul were going back to the unbeaten to the pavilion, and they showed Virat Kohli. He was wearing his pads and he was sort of geeing them up with his
Yeah,
MRF pad,
yeah,
and then he
yeah,
was shadow practicing there. Right, he
yeah,
looked like he was ready. Like he looked like he
yeah,
wanted to go out and bat.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that's one thing about the good thing I feel here. If you look at Virat's sort of lack of success over the last, say, 2 or 3 years, right? He broke that problem in one days. Test, he's still having that issue, right? He doesn't have a left arm spinner to play against here. He's
Hmm,
had his issues against spinners,
hmm, hmm,
especially a lot of these innocuous looking left arm spinners.
hmm,
So yeah, Lion is there. He's got a little bit of uh, Kohli from time to time, but I think Kohli relishes pace. He relishes that sort of bounce. I mean, Adelaide is not as bouncy as Perth, of course, but it will
hmm.
still come to the bat nicely.
Yeah,
And I think he looks hungry. He just has a point to prove.
yeah.
Uh, Obviously, his last tour. I don't think he's going to tour again to Australia. I think the next tour is about 3 or 4 years down the line. Don't think his age and body will hold up. Body will hold up. I don't think age wise or form wise he will hold up much. But again, I mean, is this going to be a series about Kohli or is it going to be about Bumrah?
Oh, damn good question, man. Uh,
Hmm. Because we keep see Australia for the last few years has been Kohli. 7 centuries. He's scored a century even when India lost. He's scored centuries and wins. And he wasn't even there when India won that big series, right? Last time he had to go back home. But it's always Kohli. The narrative is always Kohli. I just have a strange feeling this is going to be Bumrah's series. This is a series where he might end up getting 30 to 40 wickets at the end of it.
Uh, Gosh, I absolutely hope so.
Hmm.
The form that he is in, he's absolutely got his tail up,
Yeah.
and after Kapil Dev, which is
40
30 years
years.
ago, 40 years
Very
ago, you finally have a pace bowler that the world stands up and takes notice of. Due respect to
I
Jawahar
think
Srinath
Jawahar
and
Srinath and Zahir Khan will be very upset to hear that. Yeah.
no, like I said, due respect. But are they in the lines of the all-time greats? They are not.
Correct.
Whereas Jasprit Bumrah, if he was to retire today, would go down amongst the all-time greats
Right.
of
So
baseball.
see, you opened, right? You batted as an opening batsman. You batted at number 3. Uh, we have both of us played cricket, guys. For those who are listening, right? We're not just armchair commentators here. Not the major league cricket, but wherever we played for some amount of cricket. So, what? Imagine you're McSweeney tomorrow, right? You're in the position of McSweeney now. He's had two failures, and he goes out to bat. How do you play Bumrah? Because he is so unusual, right? I mean, the, I I think the only comparison people have to him from older years is probably Malcolm Marshall, right? In terms of the way he skids. Marshall used to skid. He had that pace. He could bowl the cutters and the swings, everything. Quite a complete package. And the terror he bought, right? The Marshall terror. How would you face Bumrah? I mean, how does anyone face Bumrah?
Uh,
How would
like
you play him?
why McSween? Man, like I'll just dog it out and hope to get lucky.
But so Manas dogged
Like
it out. 2 runs of 52 balls. What happened? So
then that's one example. Yeah. So like at some point of time, your luck has to turn. Like at the end of the day,
let me put it this way.
let's
I'll ask you a slightly different way, right? So baseball is for good or bad is working, right? It works more than it fails. And if you look at say the English openers and the way they go about their business, they don't care, right? They just start whacking the ball. Do you think that kind of a baseball kind of a technique by one of the openers could actually be a good way to go against Bumrah, where you actually go saying, okay, fine, if I'm going to get out, if one ball has my name on it, it has my name on it, but I'm just going to go and attack this man.
Yeah. Now, interesting you say that because like I was watching a short clip by Ricky Ponting some time back, and he was posed exactly the same question: How will you
Hmm.
play Jasprit Bumrah? And his answer was that I'll charge him, and then I'll stay back, and then if I've not lofted it, I would have pulled it. It's constantly a matter of landing a punch. Like the moment you
Hmm.
land a punch, like the bowler
Yeah,
tends to think
absolutely. Absolutely.
what's gonna happen. So like yes, attacking him is one way, but like given the form that he is in at this point of time,
Hmm.
uh, I'm not sure if that would be a successful strategy. Like,
Okay, fair enough.
the best way to play Bumrah would be to, if you think it's outside the off stump, let it go. Don't play
Hmm.
it.
Correct.
Like, if you have to take a few body blows, take them. Be
Hmm.
absolutely risk averse.
Yeah.
And the reality is that, at a stretch, he will bowl 8 or 10 overs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Uh, I don't know. That's my point of view. In fact, like Marnus has come under a lot of criticism by commentators and ex-cricketers saying that he was too risk averse in the last match. He
Hmm.
was not his usual self, which is he gets his eye in quickly and then tries
He's a
to
busy guy. He's a busy batsman. Yeah.
dominate the bowling. Uh, he wasn't doing that, and it didn't uh, go against him.
Hmm.
So, like I think, there are various ways to approach it.
Hmm.
Uh, but given Bumrah's form, I'm not sure which approach would work. But then,
Okay.
in the like Lord Krishna said, "Karmande vadikaraste."
Yes, I think really honestly, if he lasts the 5 tests and he bowls at even like 80% of what he did in the first test, and he has a little bit of luck going his way in terms of conditions, I think this is going to be the series of Bumrah. I think this will be his defining series for sure.
Actually,
He's already been touted as
Hmm.
probably the greatest of all time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think he'll probably cement that legacy a little bit. Okay, last question on the team before we go to one last part of the talk today. Since we're talking day and night, do you think the 2 days will come back, which is the Ravi Chandran Ashwins and the Ravi Jadeja, or do you think the person called Washington Sundar is going to continue?
I think we'll play one spinner, and that
Hmm.
spinner would be Ashwin,
Hmm.
because Ashwin is our most successful pink ball bowler so
Hmm.
far. Also, he would come into play simply because of the fact that Khwaja, left-hander. Travis Head, left-hander. Who else in the Australian side?
Khwaja is a left-hander. Travis Head is a left-hander. Alex Carey is a
Yeah,
left-hander.
Alex Carey, left-hander. So like he'll have a role to play
Mitchell
again.
Stark. Mitchell Stark again. I mean, if you go lower down the order. So,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, Also, like in the last match, I think we played Sundar because we were not full strength as far as batting is concerned.
Hmm.
Now with Gill coming in and Rohit Sharma in the lineup, I think we can go back to our best option, which is Ashwin.
All right. I'm going to put a question up on screen. This is from our old mate, Samson. Sam, hi. How are you doing, buddy? Are you still at the office listening to us or viewing us? So he says, hello, boys. Or should I say, bye, was great to be on a show. Couple of questions. Just logged in, so apologies. One, Josh Hazelwood missing out from the Adelaide test will be that an advantage for India. And the second is about Rohit, who has decided to play in the middle order and sacrifice his favorite batting position. Do you think that's a good idea? So yeah, we've covered it, but you want to just quickly talk about Hazel and Hitman for Sam?
You know, as far as Hazelwood is concerned, yes, Australia will miss him.
Hmm.
Uh, he's been a key player for Australia for the past few years. Last time when we played, he was one of the main architects of the Australia victory against us. The last time we played against them at Adelaide, so he was seriously menacing at that
Yeah.
point of time. So yes, Australia would miss him, but they do have a decent substitute for him in terms of
Well,
Scott Bullen. So injuries happen. Let's see how it pans out.
what about Hitman? Hitman in the middle order. I think you already said it's a good idea for him to bat in the middle.
It's good for Hitman.
Yeah, it's good for Hitman. I think and also I think if Hitman comes in with say India being say assume that for 250 for two or 300 for three, it'll actually allow him to play that game which he wants to play, which is an aggressive game, right?
Yeah,
Uh, and with a slightly older ball, it might be less risky as well. So
absolutely. In fact, like look at us conjure up a scenario in which Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma or Rohit Sharma and Rishabh Pant
Rishabh
are
Pant,
batting with the
correct,
ball, which is probably 50 overs old as
correct.
such. How much fun can they have on a wicket in which the ball comes onto the bat?
Correct. Sam, just to very quickly on Hazelwood, I think what people don't realize is Hazelwood is the most economical Australian bowler in Tests. So even if he doesn't take wickets, I think he dries up one end, and that indirectly gives wickets to the other players there, right? The Starks of the world and the Cummins of the world. Cummins, I mean, oddly enough, I think he's boiled out, no, a little bit. But this might be the coming of Cummins, pun intended. Uh, yeah, we've forgotten him. He's been such an influential cricketer over the last 2 years in all formats, and I think he's just nobody speaks about him. I think he might just come back silently into this series as well. It's an interesting series. I mean, five tests is always going to be fun. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and Cummins, yeah, like you're right. He's a very unassuming cricketer.
yeah,
Uh, like very good with the ball, but then I think Stark and Hazelwood
mm,
get the benefit of optics.
right,
Uh, and then look at his batting also. When he's required, he takes the bull by the horns.
yeah,
Uh, in terms of attitude, also look at the last test. He comes in at night watchman.
yeah. But again,
He
there
was
was a lot
really
of debate on that. There was a lot of debate. I mean, with like 4 overs to go, they could have very well sent in a proper batsman. It's just a
yeah.
waste of a batsman. I think anyway, the night watchman doesn't make sense unless you're Jason Gillespie and score 200 in one innings like he did.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, there was a comment from Sarvat which I'm putting on screen. She's a friend, and she says, "Here I'm brushing up my cricket skills from the two experts." Sarvat, we are not experts. We just love cricket. And anyone in the subcontinent is an expert. But yeah, thank you for
Absolutely.
those. Everyone's an expert on cricket, right, these days. But yeah, I mean, it's better to brush your teeth than brush up your cricket skills from these two people. But fair enough. Thank you for that. So, Anshuman, last before we wrap up, I think we've been online for about close to half an hour, which was the time that we had sort of allocated. Um, Day one predictions.
Dude, it completely depends on the toss.
Yeah.
Uh, so,
You,
like,
you mean, look, 99% of Australia got it wrong when they said India will be thrashed in 4 days in Perth, right? So you can
so
put your heart on the sleeve and say whatever you want to.
okay, see, so Australia have won the toss in all the seven matches that they played at Adelaide, day and night matches also.
Correct.
So I think this time around, Rohit Sharma should get lucky. We
Hmm.
should win the toss. We should opt to bat.
Hmm.
Uh, it completely comes down to how Jaiswal and Rahul
Rahul bat.
negotiate the new ball. If
Hmm.
those guys bat for 30, 35 overs or something, you'll look at a score of 275 to 300 at end
At
of
least.
day's play
Hmm.
tomorrow, at the loss of, like, maybe
Hmm.
uh, three three or four wickets.
Right.
uh,
So should we send Bumrah for the toss? Just captain for the toss because he's been lucky in the last. No one can take over from there.
Toss is a 50-50 scenario,
Hmm. Yeah,
right? It
probably.
can go either way,
Correct.
as such. So it
No,
doesn't
but the
matter
thing
who.
is, I think it's clear that if whoever wins is going to bat for sure, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
unlikely that they're going to put the team in, the other
Absolutely.
team, right?
Absolutely.
So my prediction is, I think I have a strange feeling India's going to win the toss tomorrow. Uh, Also have a feeling that they will end the day at around 270 for three or four.
Hmm.
And I also have another prediction that these three or four wickets will all be in the final session.
Okay. Yeah,
I have
no,
a
the
feeling.
275 is contingent to
Yeah,
Rahul and Jaiswal lasting 35
yeah.
overs.
I just have a feeling that maybe Rahul and Jaiswal and maybe even a Shubman Gill will probably
Yeah.
play till the 70th over. And
Hmm.
after the 70th over, when you're getting into the last session, where you have
Hmm.
that last 20,
Yeah.
30 overs, the new ball comes in the 80th, we'll
Yeah.
probably see about a three or four wicket slide there.
But then, like,
But
there's one thing actually. Jaiswal has asked for trouble. He
hmm.
sledged Mitchell Stark in the last match.
Yeah,
Told
slow
him that,
down. You're
you're
bowling slow.
bowling very slow. He incidentally also sledged Nathan Lyon. He said that you're a legend, but you're too old. So,
So I mean, we have got two amazing characters in that team, right? Pant and Jaiswal.
yeah.
So, in fact, I don't know if have Jaiswal and Pant ever batted together in a test match or a one day, because that would be some incredible partnership to see these two left-handers. Right? They were going at it, right? I hope. I mean, I hope there is some chance of them batting
Yeah.
together. Some
Yeah.
odd
I
circumstance when it
can't
comes
think
to it.
of a time when both of them batted together. But yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be fun to watch. Yeah.
it'll be fun to watch. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, last thoughts before we wrap for the first session that we've done on LinkedIn.
Uh, I think, like, like we discussed, uh, the key is to, be absolutely risk averse towards the beginning, play out the new ball, the Kookaburra pink ball, unlike the red ball, it maintains its shine
Hmm.
for a longer duration. So, like, it would probably swing would probably be in the equation for 30, 35 overs or so. Then
Hmm.
you eventually, get into twilight, which is again a difficult period to play, and you
Hmm.
need to see that through. And after that, the ball swings again towards the end of the day. So
Hmm.
net, like the batsman would need to be careful about their shot making as such.
Hmm.
Err on the side of caution is what I would suggest.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
a couple of things. When I mean, before we there are a couple of nice comments that have come. One from Gopal Krishna Tharoor. Gopalji, hi, nice to have you on the show as well. He says, "Trust Shubman Gill puts his head down and plays. We all do.
yeah, very apt. Yeah,
We all do. And it's again, I mean, he's played well in Australia last time round.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, has the game for Australia. He likes the
yeah,
bounce. He has like
yeah.
those shots which he like almost plays like a tennis ball, like a
True.
tennis match. So I hope his wrist. I mean, his injury is better now.
Yeah,
Will make a big difference to India if he fires.
yeah, yeah.
Another interesting question from Ejaz Khan. Anshuman, he's asked you this. So do you want to answer that?
Okay. Now, first, I'll react to Gopal's comment about Shubman
Okay.
Gill as such. like both Gill and Jaiswal, like they're naturally aggressive batsmen.
Hmm.
Like they'll need to keep that in check till the
Hmm.
time that they're absolutely comfortable with the ball. That's contrary to their character as such, but then I think that's what Test cricket is about.
Hmm.
Uh, in the last match, Rahul was constantly going and counseling Jaiswal to boss, ठहर जा, just wait for a while, just wait for a while, and like I think that played a very important role in Jaiswal's inning.
Right.
Uh,
I'll put
Ijaz, hey, super,
Ajaz.
super to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Uh, Before I answer the question, I have a story to tell about Ijaz Khan, as such.
Oh, interesting.
Uh, Shanti, Ijaz is also from Bombay.
Okay.
He used to work together in Srikaya Grape years ago, as
Right.
such. Ijaz is fanatical about cricket.
Tell me he wasn't creative and not in your side of business.
No, no, he was very much in client servicing. In fact, I think he's the CEO of
Yes, he lost 5 brownie points from my side.
of our agency. There is one instance, like we were playing at Azad Maidan.
Hmm.
This was in the CAG Shield. So
Oh,
while we were practicing, Ajas tripped over the tent rope
oh God.
and I think badly dislocated his arm. So he had to go to the hospital, got himself, bandaged and plastered. Comes back. We decided to play with 10 players itself. So like Ijaz comes in and like he says, I will play now. Yeah.
Hmm.
And Ijaz with one arm goes on to take 4 wickets. If I
Wow.
remember correctly, his analysis were 6 overs, 14 runs, and 4 wickets. So like
Wow.
so Ijaz is the ultimate one arm bandit.
Seriously, man, that's amazing. It's just nice to hear that. So
And like one of the
you had an irregular arm, like what was he bowling? Off spin or leg spin?
no dude, medium pace.
Oh, medium pace with one hand. Wow.
Yeah, so like he charged in, and then somehow he can't get one arm up, but the other arm goes up, and it
Must
was
have been
awesome.
Bumrah's hyperextended arm, yeah. By
I
mistake, the
know.
other arm
So,
must have been hyperextended.
we talk about Kumble bowling with a broken jaw, Malcolm
Yes,
Marshall
right.
batting with a broken hand.
With one hand,
Ijaz
yeah.
Khan, broken hand, is right up there.
Fantastic.
Ijaz, yes, the due, uh, like at in all night matches, yeah, it would be a factor. However, there is one difference in the pink ball, uh, which is that it has a sturdier seam compared to the red ball. So, the seam doesn't get too wet. It's easier to dry off.
Hmm.
Uh,
I
and
like I liked how you're telling a one-armed fast bowler who took 4 wickets seam theory. I really like that.
I know.
Considering you're a wicketkeeper and a batsman, it's
No,
hearing
if
this.
you were to ask Ijaz about how he did it, I'm 100% certain he
He didn't
won't
know.
have a clue. Because Ijaz is a thought just goes and just does it. Yeah. So
I'll
awesome.
actually give you my own anecdote. I was playing against Persept in the same aforementioned CAC Shield. Negotiated the first over properly. The second over, the 6 feet 5 inch bowler comes, and I'm facing him. And I know trouble is coming because the pitch was bouncy. And the wicketkeeper looks at the first slip and says in Marathi, like, "Ha kon hai and kya hai tak to?" Like, who is this guy and what does he bowl? And that's when I
Hmm.
realized they bought a player from outside. Right? It didn't even it wasn't even part of the
Yes,
agency players.
that
And the
happens.
first ball she bowled, I think I did not want to bat after that. So that's it, man. Let me nick the next one. I'm done. So yeah. Hmm. Okay, so fabulous discussion, Anshuman.
Yeah,
Let's
that's so
end on
fun.
a fun note. Let's end on a fun note. Um, if India wins this test, um, they'll obviously go 2 up in the series and probably will be an unassailable lead. It looks very likely that India will then probably even win 4-0 or 4-1 or whatever it is, or at least win the series, right? Uh, what do you think the Amul holding line will be if India wins this test?
Well, you're the copywriter, यार. तू सोच
I'm
के
not.
आया हो.
I'm reversing it on servicing now. I'm saying servicing. You give a line. Yeah.
यार मैंने जो कुछ दिमाग में आ रहा है वो ऐसे लोगों के सामने बोल नहीं सकता। So I'll
Okay, ठीक है. We will we will tell the Amul team that you are finding it difficult to come up with what you want to say. I don't have a line for it. I everything. The only thing I can rhyme Adelaide is marmalade, and marmalade is very Marmite in Australia, so maybe something like that.
so like I'm also similar. Like I was rhyming it with late. So
I get. I already got where you were going. I already got where you were going.
so see, like there's not too much of a difference. Like both of us are on the same track. Yeah, late, late.
Yeah, it's like if Adil got laid, but anyway, let's not go there. All right, great, Anshuman. Fabulous to have our first session here. And
Super, my friend.
your prediction versus my prediction. I think both of us are saying India bats and gets about 270 odd. And your money is on Australia winning, and my money is still on India winning. Hopefully, let's see. But all said and done, great. And let's see. Maybe we'll do a session after the test ends to just see where we were going right or wrong with this. Yep.
Fit, yeah.
Cool.
So like,
1 second. We have one question. One more. Last. This guy has entered at the last minute, man. Jitendra Sharma. And he said, Anshuman, given that the team is already set and has proved his mettle in the first test, how is Rohit planning to slot himself in and at whose expense? Right? Well, we've answered it, but yeah, very quickly for Jitendra's sake.
Jitu, so like earlier today itself, like Rohit Sharma said that he'll bat in the middle order. Like as far as who goes, like both Jurel uh,
But
and they
Padikkal
they
will go. Yeah.
like I think like they'll make way for Rohit Sharma uh, and Shubman Gill. So that's what it'd be as far as batsman is concerned. As far as bowlers is concerned, I think Ashwin will come in for Sundar.
Okay. Just to give you a perspective, Gopal Krishna Tharoor, who's no relation, I think some relation to Tharoor, Shashi Tharoor. Gopal, you don't kill me if I got it wrong. He actually was in my copy workshop last year. He's a
Uh-huh.
master of the pen, and look at his line for Amul, better late than never. I was half expecting that to come in. Fantastic. All right, I
Hmm.
think we're due to now STFU, as they say.
Hmm.
So fantastic. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Are you going to be watching the match live?
Yes, of course.
Lucky you, yeah.
8 a.m.
Lucky you. I'll watch at 8 a.m., but then I have to head off for work. So I just want to watch this last session, actually. I'm very curious to watch the last session. But that will be like at around, what is it, around 12:30, 2 o'clock roughly, right? Our time.
Yeah, there was it. Yeah.
That'll be a nice lunch khate hue session dekho types.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah.
anyway, let's hope India does well. And Bhai Waugh, please follow us, guys. If you're watching this live, we are on YouTube under the channel name Bhai Waugh. We have some stuff there which is amazing. It's taken a little bit of a lull, but it'll be back soon with more videos. And look forward to catching me and Anshuman soon on LinkedIn Live as well as on Bhai Waugh. We'll do more of this. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Like all of you are absolute stars. You all deserve Bharat Ratnas. When
यही परमवीर चक्र साहब
Paramveer Chakra, exactly.
भारत में तो बहुत कम है यार परमवीर चक्र चाहिए विक्टोरियस क्रॉस मेडल्स
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Really enjoyed having you over the questions. And Anshuman, Chief,
Yeah.
as always, cheers.
End of day's play, my friend. Cheers. Take care.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.